Well. Welcome back to Let's Talk Race and Ireland. I'm your host, Harrison Paul. Southport, tragically, there were three young girls who died from a knife attack. Southport, I think, is in Cardiff in England. And then I think 9 in total were injured. This is a tragic situation. But of course, we can never get away from the current times we are in, where everyone is looking to find a reason to disqualify black people from living in Europe. And this is just one of those issues yet again. So I'm going to put some images on the screen for you guys to see it. I don't like to call them far right. Far right seems to be this, I don't know, patted down name now. I'd rather go with like white supremacist, something a little bit more extreme, more telling. I just feel like far right is like, oh wow, your beliefs lean to the right a little bit, they lean far. Nah, I think we have to give it that white supremacist KKK type name now, don't you think, guys? Apparently the people who were at this protest after this event took place, there were protests that took place tonight. I think you guys will see this tomorrow. So last night, they were chanting Allah, Allah, who is Allah, who the F is Allah. So, we're at that place now, guys, where we have to start calling a spade a spade. We can no longer pat down these, just say, so it's just a far right perspective. And the only thing I could think of, obviously it's tragic what happened to those young girls. We pray for them. We can't even begin to imagine what their family are feeling in this time. And I should have said this at the beginning. The boy who actually was behind the knife crime was born in Cardiff. He was born in the UK. His parents migrated. He's a child of migrant parents. And also, just in case it matters, he was suffering with a mental breakdown. Apparently, the details are not fully out, but this is what's being said at the moment. This obviously has fueled people to say, right, this is why these black and brown people are just destroying Europe. They're destroying our homeland. It's unsafe. You're killing our children. In fact, I have a tape here that I think I wanted to play you guys. Just seen it this afternoon, of a young Irish boy who was actually mixed race, and he said that he was walking in Dublin. Actually, I'll just have him explain to himself instead of me explaining on his behalf. Check this out.
You know what? I actually have to just come on and make this video and just say this, yeah? I might have been walking across O'Connell Bridge. I was with my mate, and he walked into some old woman by mistake. We hit off our bag. We helped pick her back up and all. We said, we're sorry. Tell me why she starts hitting me with the, get out of our country. And I was like, I couldn't believe that she said it. I was like, what? And then she said, you Africans and all of this and that. And I was like, wait, hold on a minute. I said, I couldn't, this has never happened to me before. I showed her my passport and I was like, what are you on about? I'm Irish. And she's still giving a load saying people are, our children are, imagine this, she said, you're killing our children. She said that to me. I just couldn't, I don't even know, I'm speechless. I know, yeah, don't mind them and all, but that was the worst thing I've ever experienced before. I don't care.
I love how he said, oh, don't mind them. That's just, it's just it, isn't it? It's your burden. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Oh, jeez. Don't mind them until this very day. Not we're going to create a society that clamps down on this harder. Don't mind them. They have the room to make mistakes. They are the original Irish. It's you who has to have the burden. It's you who has to carry the load. I'm sorry to say, it's times like this we're living in, I feel extremely vindicated because I feel like it was only a matter of time until covert behavior became overt. It was only a matter of time until covert emotions found a reason to express themselves overtly. And issue is here, I'm even thinking about this as I watch that clip, is that this is going to begin to deteriorate, or these things deteriorate you as a young black man in society. The covert ones now, not necessarily these moments. Because you understand that it's just you to just turn a blind eye, move by, you know? And my point about this and why I've played this clip in regards to the knife attack that happened today in Southport is that I had so many people try to lie to me for the last 3 years of my Pan-Africanist movement that I've been having, that this, especially specifically now actually in this new era of this undocumented phase and this concerned Irish or concerned British, and by the way, that's a little footnote as well, the British and the Irish have come together. Wow. Wouldn't Queen Elizabeth be smiling in her grave? The Irish and the English have come together in order to fight a common enemy, which is the black and brown foreigners. And I feel like it was only a matter of time until we got here. And why I feel like that is because here we have a young black boy who obviously is born in this country. You can see his has a Irish accent. You can see he's born of Europe. He's mixed race. Most likely his mother or father is a white woman. And he is still receiving the back end of this time that we're living in. And this is where I had fights even with black people that, oh no, naive black people, oh no, they're just concerned about nothing. Any movement like this leaves anybody at risk. Don't care your mama's white, don't care your mom, you got a bit of time. If we do not clamp down on movements like this and ask for some, sanity in movements like this, there are plenty of ways we can try to fix the economy. There are plenty of ways we can work on housing. There are plenty of ways we can work on distribution. The billionaires have actually tripled since the pandemic, I'll have you know. Millionaires have doubled their money, and the poorer and the middle class have actually gone lower. So the concept that, it is the only way we can fix the problems, it is the only way Europeans want to fix the problems. It is the problem the problem in their eyes. They have been wanting to pinpoint for so long. But you know what? I don't want to give too much energy to the concept of whether or not this movement is racist. If you're an African Uncle Tom and you want to believe the best in your master and you actually think there's purity in this movement, I'm telling you right down to anybody, there is nothing about this movement. The Irish people are the people who've migrated the most out of any other people. They have 80 million in the Irish diaspora. They have gone everywhere. If you think of America, if you think of Australia, if you think of even history till this very day. And I was talking to a brother today, and he said something that was just so brilliant. He said, Africans, we're welcoming. We really are welcoming. We know that as Africans, we really are welcoming. We won't look down on you, but that's mainly because we see everyone as above us. So when anybody comes to visit Africa, it's like, you have blessed us with your presence. There is that little bit of, self-consciousness or a low self-esteem that the African has, that really a visit from anybody really is something that it's one of his trophies and medals that he holds up. But I'm not going to get too much into whether or not this movement is a racist movement, because there is absolutely there's no excuse in the movement. If you're anybody with a little bit of sense, if you're anybody who has any sort of sharpness, you understand the undertone in this movement. So let me not waste time there. I more wanted to discuss on something that I was thinking of the whole time when I was watching this video, or watching all this unfold. I had a discussion with a friend of mine today, and we were talking about Donald Trump, and we were talking about, listen, and I won't even repeat what he said, because I wouldn't even want that to be out in the air. But basically, it was something in which I could see he was really vocalizing his internalized racism, vocalizing his loathe for Black life, vocalizing, like I said, the humanization of the Black man, the standard of him just really something that can be, wishy-washy in that aspect. Like, and you can see, how much value somebody has for Black life. And this has been served as a great, piece of evidence for the point that I actually was making to him earlier. When Black people have lived a life in which our mistakes are under a microscope, and now you may feel as if, oh, this is just this current season now, or this is just what's happening now. No, this is what's happening overtly now. But we have understood as Black people that your mistakes, everything that you do, it's so quickly and so easy for you to be put in the NIGGE box. It is so quickly to be put in there. So you are now being branded, and the presenter, the anchor for the Sky News was caught for, child images. And I bet you his whole race will not be branded as, PDF files. I'm pretty sure they won't be branded as that. So it's this claustrophobicness that comes with being Black. It's that one Black boy commits a crime today in Southport, and everybody is of the same risk of committing that crime. A doctor, a footballer, anybody is like 2 steps away, around the corner from committing that. You never truly free yourself as a Black person from the capacity. And I know this because I remember growing up and being with Black friends. I used to roll with a gang of people. I don't so much anymore. And we all police each other of like, boy, don't you embarrass us in this place. Whether it be even something small, someone's a bit too hyped up or something, you'd always be like, boy, don't make white folks start thinking that we, and I'm going to paraphrase for any viewers, we on a thin line. We live on that thin line. So fix yourself up. You've been hyper today or whatever it is, fix yourself up. White people are watching. Because if you make one mistake now, and I'm not talking about a big mistake like violence or anything, I'm just talking about take up the space in the room. You cost us all our worth in European life. You cost us all our worth. You cost us all our respect. Think of how fragile that is. So when this has been the life of Black people, you internalize that. It is only a matter of time. And as I've just explained to you now, the internalization of that happens. And he was asking me, why are Black people in the hoods killing each other? I was like, don't even mind Black people in the hoods. We got Black people in corporate world turning their back on each other. Because we always know if they want to give a role in the company, three Negroes tops. Because they got to show they got a bit of diversity in there. It don't matter if all 5 or 10 are fit for the roles. We know 3 already is a gang. And we know the favoritism. We know the biases that happen. The unconscious biases that happen. I'll put unconscious with quotations. This is a brilliant example of how we internalize this. And another thing that I wanted to add in to really solidify my point is Candace Owens. And I kept rehearsing Candace Owens' response to Sonia Macy's death. And I understand in that episode she ticked the boxes to say, oh, the cops shouldn't have killed her or whatever. But there seemed to be, and she really showed her colors when she said, cops make mistakes. A mother has died A mother of 2 has died. Children have just become an orphan. And all you have to say, my mom is a mother. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't push past this. Understanding, feeling, what if my children just because of someone's hatred lost a mother? What if I lost my chance to be with my children? Candace seemed to have, how dare you call that a mistake? You can only see it through the lens of a mistake and just, like you tripped and fell. Like you spilled some water. It's a mistake. Cops, we all make mistakes. We're human, make mistakes. You've gone in and you've had every single intention. And if you had a love for Black life, if Candace wasn't riddled in self-hatred, I want to make clear to anybody watching today, if you wonder why the Black community has so many defaults at times with self-hatred, with a genre of music that enjoys killing each other, maybe even in terms of what we promote, in terms of on the female side, how we over-sexualize the Black woman. We have internalized how the world has felt about us so much, and we get it messed up that because the Black man has been able to turn his lemons to lemonade, because he's been able to move with a bounce walk and move with some swagger and bounce back and fight back, you've mistaken that and thought that the Black man has no trauma. The Black man is invincible. But then with the same tone, we're very good at picking out the flaws within the community. I'm more so talking to Black people here because I will never discuss the flaws of my people with white people. I just think that's it's a very fine line and just very uncomfortable thing for me to do. But because I'm letting you in on a conversation I was having with a brother today, I want you guys to understand that I'm having, I just really want Black people to kind of have an empathy when you think about how we have internalized our environment. For me, guys, I'm going to keep honest with you. These times are bliss. Not the fact that we lost some little girls. I'm sorry that happened. Not the fact that Black man did what he did. No, but I think the cream has risen. We are seeing emotions on the outside. We are seeing how people really felt. We are seeing covert emotions being expressed overtly and explicitly. And if you ask me, they did more damage to the Negro being underhanded because it was this thing he couldn't put his finger on and cause him so much confusion. Think of the movie Home Alone. Those 2 guys literally had to run for their money because they couldn't seem to spot this kid. They couldn't seem to grab this kid, but this kid was driving them crazy. This reminds me of what's happened with the Black man. He can't explicitly say that woman is feeling racist towards me because she just makes sure she ticks all the boxes. Again, in my last video I explained this dog whistle politics. To the normal ear, it sounds like a small thing, you can't even hear it, but to a dog, that's quite loud. So everyone ticks the boxes of what did I actually say that was racist? We have a movement here, concerned parents. We have a movement here, concerned natives. We have a movement here. We don't want, but you have to look at what someone is saying. Someone is saying that you are more prone to crime just by your nationality, just by your race. You've got to be wise enough. They're not concerned about the Irish people who are migrated in other countries because they don't believe they're as much prone to crime. They don't care about the fact that the British have gone and have imposed their culture across the whole world, made places in Africa right now that made England their first language. They don't care. That's a credit to the world that they did that. No remorse, no shame. That's a credit. Economies have not been able to get back on their feet. Real countries have not been able to get back on their feet because of colonialism and neocolonialism. That does not concern. They don't want to know about that. In fact, you should be blessed. Seen a video of a lady who said, what we have done. I know it wasn't that false empathy. I know it wasn't great, but look at all the good that's come from it. And you have to see this superiority complex that somebody has there. And a lot of black people don't see this. You are caught in the rat's wheel of having to feel like you have to meet a certain standard, keep up the pace with what your master feels. And then you microanalyze our community over, persecute your own community without the real foundation as to, first of all, where does the brokenness come from? I sit on here, people think I sit on here because I'm complaining about white people. I sit on here because I'm actually diving into the psychology, unpacking the traumas that have become so normal. I talk about this all the time. We are the only race of women where our women have to wear a wig. No question, have to wear a wig. What is that mental destabilization that we have to wear a wig? What is that majority of our men want to date outside their race? That even so much our women know this. Our women know we date outside of our race more than any other race, the black man. Because we were told that our women were ugly. We were told that our women were not feminine. We were told that flowy hair was feminine. So our women go out and get flowy hair. Oh no, that has nothing to do with the past. We have internalized so much from history. We have internalized so much. And this is a perfect way to look at it. Yes, this is an extreme moment, but this is the life that you live. You can't put a foot out of line. It's what it's been for the black man. So easily persecuted. You see, this is, don't tell me you're not a black person that's never got a comment from white person say, you're like, not to the effect of, you're a different one though. You're a black person that's kind of get that compliment. You're a higher quality Negro. Don't act like you're a black person that's never got that compliment from white people. You in there and they kind of just let you know on the lowdown, you know what, bro, I don't usually hang around with black people, but you're a different one. You passed the test. You're civilized. Again, they may have not said those words explicitly. They may have even thought they were giving you a compliment. Something you would cherish. Something you might want to know. If only you did know the negative thoughts I've thought about black people. But guess what? You've graduated from that. Guys, it is human nature that we internalize this. So when we look at people like Candace Owens, when we look like any of those people, where was her compassion? Where is her upright? Where she would have watched that video knowing there's no way in hell someone walks in the room and just wants to accidentally shoot somebody. You look at that from a perspective of black life is, you have no real value for yourself for black life that you can just see as an oopsie. Oopsie. And I'm gonna have to go out now and say what my buddy had said in the conversation. We were talking about how Trump said he wanted to give full immunity, and he was like, "Oh well, yeah, maybe that's good because maybe then black people won't stop." Killing black people is going to. That is an answer Like I said, the Sky News anchor, don't even know his name. I'll put a picture of him up on the screen. He's not the only white man who commits these PDF file crimes. In fact, they have the highest rate of doing so. Does it register in the mind that we just blow their brains out? It doesn't register because contentment for white life doesn't register like that. It doesn't translate like that. Even the lackluster nature to want to dive deep into our race and understand why these things happen, to just look at something from a distance and say, we must just be an inferior race if we have such and such behaviors. Now that I'm sitting in this seat, I'm doing what I do, it doesn't take me so much to understand this is not normal. This stems from something. And when I look at the history, everything ties up. It's not hard. You just have to have some investment and some actual feeling in your heart that Black life matters. If it doesn't matter enough to you, you won't find yourself wanting to invest in certain, deficiencies within our community and brokenness within our community. And this is a perfect example to show that. Oh, when black people do something. Oh, one black person committed a crime today. And everyone gets the heat of it. And no, not just today. This has been throughout. Whether you're in the workplace, whether you're in wherever, your dirt is dirtier. That's the way it goes. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We wish all the best to those families who have lost those kids. And it's a tragic situation. Thank you.
And I'm on a mission for you.